Hello. Today we're going to speak about cars. How do we describe a car? What do we say about different parts? As you have already understood, this video is not for beginners. Well, speaking about cars, we'll have 4 different videos. This particular video will deal with car exterior, how you can describe a car from the outside, what you see outside. The second part, which will be released later, will deal with car interior, what you can see inside of a car. The third part will speak about expressions that you may want to use while driving. And the fourth part will be the most emotional, speaking about idioms related to driving. But let's get to the point and start with the first part when we speak about the car exterior. When we look at the car from the outside, all that you see, as in this picture, is called the exterior of a car or the car body. Car body or car exterior. We can see an example. This poor car, which was badly damaged. You can say that the body of the car was badly damaged. The outside of the car was badly damaged. Let's have a look at the front of the car, or the car front. The car front. We can see there, of course, the license plate. This is the white board with all the ID information of a car. Well, not all the information. We still have the VIN number and some other details, but this is the ID of a car, which is shown on a license plate. You can just say license, or you can say license plate number if you want to be specific and you want the number. But very often they say just license. As in this example, did you catch their license plate? Meaning, did you see their car ID number? Did you catch their license plate?
What's the license plate number?
So the character says here, what's the license plate number? What's the license plate number? Have another look.
What's the license plate number?
If we continue looking at a car, this window or this glass that you look through as a driver when you drive, and that protects you from rain, hail, snow, or wind, is called a windshield. Sometimes it is called a windscreen. Windshield. Windshield. So this glass is called a windshield. You can say, somebody broke my windshield last night. Somebody broke my windshield last night. And these 2 sticks that move to help you remove water when it is raining, for example, or when it is snowing, these 2 helpers are called windshield wipers. Windshield wipers. They wipe the liquid off the windshield. Windshield wipers. You can say, for example, I need to change my wipers, or the wipers, they are too old, or they are not functioning, working properly. I need to change the wipers. This liquid here that helps us to clean the windshield even better when it's really dirty. So this liquid is called windshield washer fluid or windshield washer liquid, or you can just say washer. Windshield washer fluid. You can say, be sure to use another washer for negative temperatures, meaning when the temperatures go negative, below 0 Celsius, of course, that means that you need to have another washer which is resistant to cold temperatures. Be sure to use another washer for negative temperatures. So the thing in front of a car holding the license plate is called the front bumper. The word bumper sounds very similar to the Russian word, but make sure you don't say it with a long sound. The sound has to be really short. Bumper. Bumper or bump or whatever. Bumper is the wrong way of saying this. So you have to make sure it is a short sound. Bumper. Bumper. Front bumper. This part is called the front bumper. There is an expression which is quite useful, especially if you live in a big city. You can say it's bumper to bumper there or here. That means in a heavy traffic jam, the cars are standing so close to one another that they are nearly touching the bumper of each other, of the next car standing next to yours. So you can say it's bumper to bumper, meaning the traffic is really heavy. The cars are not moving. We are in a big traffic jam. It's bumper to bumper.
Yeah, the freeway was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was bumper to bumper the whole way.
Well, this guy says the freeway, the big road, the freeway was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was bumper to bumper the whole way. It was bumper to bumper the whole way, all the way through.
Yeah, the freeway was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was bumper to bumper the whole way.
Next, these two things that help us see better when driving are called either headlamps or headlights or just lights. But the key thing is here, if you want to speak about the front lights, it's headlights. The ones at the front, headlights. You can say you forgot to turn off the lights, or you forgot to turn off the headlights. Now, looking at these blinking things, if you want to turn to the left or to the right, and you want to show to other drivers which way you are planning to go, you turn on signal lights. They are also called turn lights, which is pretty logical. They're very often called blinkers in the United States or indicators in Britain. So indicators is also pretty logical. You indicate where you want to turn. So it's either signal lights, turn lights, blinkers, or indicators. You choose. You can say, I hate it when people don't indicate. Don't turn on indicators or don't use blinkers. I hate it when people don't indicate is also good. When people don't indicate, meaning that when people drive and don't show where they are planning to go. So I hate it when people don't use blinkers. This is the American version, as you remember. These lights, the yellow lights at the back and front, at the same working at the same time, blinking at the same time, they are called hazard lights, or just hazards for short. So hazard lights are turned on when there is an emergency. You want to show to other people and drivers that there is an emergency, you need to stop, or when you're acting inadequately and you're showing that something is wrong. So you switch on or you turn on the hazards to show that there is an emergency. Something has happened. If you have an emergency, you need to pull over and turn on your hazards. So when you have something unexpected, when something unexpected happened and this is an emergency and you need to stop, first you have to turn on your hazards and start slowing down, moving slower, and pull over means to stop aside the main traffic. So if you have an emergency, you need to pull over and turn on your hazards. Imagine you're driving late at night when it's really, really dark and you need to use some stronger light to see the way. Providing that, of course, the road is clear. The road is clear means there are no other cars. Then you use your high beams. High beams. Sometimes they are called fog lights, and it corresponds with the Russian word for them, fog lights. But more often you will hear high beams. High beams. You can say, how do I turn on the high beams here? If, for example, you have just got into a car that you're not acquainted with, you don't know the model, or you're not sure, you're just a starting driver, right? How do I turn on the high beams here?
Ah, turn it off! Sorry, high beams. Sorry.
Right, he says, turn it off. Sorry, high beams, sorry. Turn it off. Sorry, high beams, sorry. Of course, it's not a good thing to use high beams when there are other cars on the road. That's why he apologizes. Because it's not good manners and it can lead to an accident. So you have to turn off your high beams when there are other cars on the road.
Ah, turn it off! Sorry, high beams. Sorry.
Now, looking at this front thing, it is called hood. Hood. Like Robin Hood, by the way. But hood is a piece of clothing, and it's also a piece of a car. Hood. You can see it. Hood. Hood. And very often you use the word pop with the word hood. Can you pop the hood, please? Can you pop the hood, please? Pop the hood. Now, the next part is pretty much logical. It's called the roof of a car. The roof of a car. Well, convertibles can go without a roof, as we know, but most cars do have a roof. You can say a convertible is a passenger car that can be driven with or without a roof in place. A convertible is a passenger car that can be driven with or without a roof in place. Now, pretty much logical. This is the front door. The front door. The next one is the back door or rear door. You can say the front door color is different from the rear door. The front door color is different from the rear door. Very often, to avoid confusion, which front door you are talking about. On that side, on the other side, right? The door from the driver's side, and then like that you will avoid any misunderstanding. So this is the driver's side. For example, the car was damaged on the driver's side. The car was damaged on the driver's side. And we understand that if you are a driver and if you are inside your car, this is the left side, right? So the opposite side is called passenger's side. Passenger's side, which is also pretty logical. The front door on the passenger's side is not opening. Like that, it's absolutely clear which door needs to be fixed. The front door on the passenger's side is not opening. If we look at the round things that help us move the vehicle around, they are called wheels. 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 This car is a four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive. So a wheel consists of two main parts. The rubber part of it is called a tire. Mind the spelling in American and British English. This is a tire, the rubber part. And the metal thing that can be kind of different design is called a hubcap. Hubcap. So a tire and a hubcap make a wheel. Well, for example, front left hubcap is missing. Front left hubcap is missing. Here we're using the word left, by the way. We can also say front hubcap from the driver's side is missing. You can say, for example, I got a flat, meaning a flat tire, or my tire is flat.
Get in. Get in, let's go. What about the flat tire?
Here the guy, well, one of the guys says, get in, let's go, get in. The other says, what about the flat tire? What am I supposed to do with this? What about the flat tire?
Get in. Get in, let's go. What about the flat tire?
Now, what do you do when you have a flat? You need to replace the tire. Well, every driver is supposed to have a spare or a spare wheel. You will use this wheel to make sure that you get to your destination. For example, I have a spare and a jack. I have a spare wheel and a jack. The jack is a mechanism, a tool helping you, this metal thing, helping you to change the tire. I have a spare and a jack. Now, the mirrors on the sides are logically called side mirrors. Sometimes they are called side view mirrors, but side mirror is understandable enough. You have the left side mirror and you have the right side mirror. For example, driving without side mirrors is dangerous. Driving without side mirrors is dangerous. What do you do when you run out of fuel? You go to a gas station. This thing, the container that you put gas in, is called a gas tank. Gas tank. And there's a little cup that you close the tank with. It's called gas cap. Gas cap. This is the lid that you use to close the gas tank. Well, for example, we can say, take the gas cap out, put the nozzle in the gas tank, and fill the car with gas. Take the gas cap out, put the nozzle in the gas tank and fill the car with gas. This is the rear bumper or the back bumper. Rear bumper, back bumper. We found a dent and paint transfer on your rear bumper. We found a dent and paint transfer on your rear bumper. Oops, can you explain that to us? Next. The lights that show the drivers behind you what you are planning to do are called tail lights. A tail, like a dog has a tail. So the lights at the back, the rear lights, are tail lights. You can say this model has wider tail lights. This model has wider tail lights. When you want to show to those who are driving behind you, you are slowing down, they can see it by your brake lights. Brake lights. When you brake, when you step on the brake, your brake lights show that. Well, you can say as an example, broken brake lights may lead to an accident. Of course, because people behind you will not see that you are stopping. So broken brake lights may lead to an accident. We brake for nobody. Right. When you want to show that you are going backwards, then your reverse lights are on. Reverse lights. Reverse lights. You can say reverse lights indicate when a car is going backwards. This is basically what I've just said. Reverse lights indicate when a car is going backwards. This thing here is called a muffler. And this particular car make, there are two mufflers, but normally there's one. Or some people prefer driving even without it. They are normally very loud. So, muffler. This is a muffler. Why did you take the muffler off? That's really loud now. Why did you take the muffler off? So this part where you normally put a suitcase or a dead body is called a trunk. A trunk. A trunk. And the example can be, put your things in the trunk. Put your things in the trunk.
You two. Take the body, stick it in the trunk.
You two take the body and stick it in the trunk. You two take the body and stick it in the trunk.
You two. Take the body, stick it in the trunk.
Alright guys, we're done with the exterior of a car. In the next video, I'll show you what we can find inside of a car. See you later.